Hi there, my name's Kully. Welcome to Spotlight Stories. Today we've got Sarah Jones, who's the head of UX and CX at TalkTalk, and she's going to delve a little deeper into how to build a strong CX UX design team. Okay, welcome Sarah. Thank you for coming to Spotlight Stories today. I want to start by asking you to give a bit of an overview of what you do at TalkTalk.
Yeah, so I'm Sarah Jones and I head up CX design, which includes UX and UI here at TalkTalk. So it's a little bit different in that we have the whole of the CX design within my team. So a team of about 16 people, we all work together and we all collaborate to improve the experience for our customers.
So for anybody listening today who's not heard of CX or UX before, could you explain the differences and similarities between the two roles?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So for me, customer experience is all about the perception of the customer's interactions with the whole organisation. So for customer experience, that's all of the key touch points and interactions throughout the whole experience that somebody has with the company, from the point that they hear about us and decide they want to buy from us right the way through to when they leave. That includes communications as well within that. We're looking at online, we're looking at offline, we're looking at any pain within the experience, what we need to reduce and remove. We're looking at opportunities to improve and wow and delight and creating memorable moments and stuff like that within the journey. So that's customer experience. We measure the experience, we monitor it, we have action plans in place to improve. And then UX for me then is more sort of the online experience within that and looking at reducing and removing friction, making it useful, usable, a pleasant experience as you go through the online journeys.
Okay. So could you give us an example of a touch point from a CX point of view and a touch point from a UX point of view so we can compare the two?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like one's CX and one's UX, but a good example could be we will monitor and measure different journeys. So we may design an online sales journey, but from a customer experience perspective, we're saying, okay, so what communications does the customer need? Are there any opportunities to wow and delight that customer at this particular point in the journey? And we're looking for those kind of deliberate moments. Then we're saying, what information does the customer need? Based on our experience, for example, do we need to share a bit more about installation dates that are available or the actual installation process and set the expectations for the customer? So it's that more kind of holistic view of the experience rather than just that, but that actual online journey and making sure the customer progresses through the funnel and then converts.
Okay, so as a leader in the field, how do you approach nurturing and growing the team within TalkTalk?
Yeah, so when I joined TalkTalk, my role was customer experience. I'm a specialist in customer experience. And then I was asked to take on the responsibilities of the UX and UI as well. So it became one big team. And at first I was thinking, oh gosh, how am I going to do all of this? It's already a full-time job. But I was very much in the mindset of the only time is now because tomorrow, you can't guarantee tomorrow. So I took on the whole team and then I started to think about how am I going to create a high-performing team, a team of people who are all going to work together, collaborate, understand their own roles, what they're going to do, where we're going to work together, where we're going to work separately. And part of that was to recruit a number of different roles at different levels within the team. We had a few temporary members of staff that we needed to replace with new people, including juniors. So I saw the need for all different levels and opportunities for people to be able to progress through the different levels within UX as well. So the first thing to do was look at our kind of skills matrix and how we could potentially recruit juniors and give the opportunity to the seniors to help coach and mentor and develop. So it meant that everybody in the team would have the opportunity to develop at the different levels. So we made sure we'd got that skills matrix. But then as I was new to the team and I was working with my seniors, one of the seniors highlighted Nielsen Norman Design Ops. And I was like, wow, this is brilliant. This is absolutely what we need. We need to look at how we're going to recruit. We need to look at the skills. We need to look at progression, development, what tools our team needs. So that was also really important. And then that led to us then having like a senior delivery manager within the team who also implements design ops as well. So that it meant that we were really focused on our people in the team, looking after them, helping them to like learn and grow and develop.
Amazing. That sounds like a really in-depth plan to make sure that you've got a strong team that works really well together. Could you share some insights into how you nurture the team and support them to grow?
Yeah, sure. I think being a parent helps here because in my personal life, I'm working with my own children and sort of nurturing them and looking at what I can do better as a parent. And I sort of bring a little bit of that into the team. So it's like that sort of compassion, that understanding, that being patient, listening, all of those kind of things. So the first thing for me was UX and CX, it's not an easy job. You do not work in this field if you want a really easy life. It's actually quite hard. You've got to kind of sell in your design decisions. You've got to influence people. You've got to tell stories. There's a lot of stakeholder management needed. You've got to really be that voice of the customer, and the passion really shines through. So for me, the first thing was, well, let's just create a really safe space where people do feel supported. So it's really important that people in my team know you don't need to fear making mistakes. Don't worry, we all make mistakes, and that is fine. It's okay to make mistakes. We'll learn, we'll move on, we'll get better each time. So the first thing was creating that safe space and then giving people the opportunity to share their ideas, to work together, to collaborate, to put the peer review sessions in place so that people have a bit more confidence because we're giving feedback and we're doing design crits and that kind of thing. Keeping it open, being transparent, and supporting where possible. So I absolutely empower the team. I don't just say, off you go, there's a piece of work, go and do it. It's very much, I'm empowering you to make the right decisions and the right choices. We'll support where needed. You'll have coaching and help along the way. But absolutely go for it. And if you think it's right, test it out, try it out. We're open to new ideas and we're open to challenge. So at TalkTalk, the values are we challenge, we care, and we commit. And I think within nurturing my team, that all shines through. We do commit to some big projects and to delivering some really big pieces of work at pace, but with empathy and with understanding, and also just trying to look at best practice from other areas and feeding that in to do the best work that we can.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. So would you say you made me smile when you said the needing the patience for the nurturing side of things, because I can see why you would need that, especially with children. But would you say there's an encouragement to be more transparent about the weaknesses within the team so that you can kind of draw out some strengths as well amongst people?
Yeah, so when I first joined the team, I was really clear that we want to be a great team, we want to be high performing, we want to be seen as that team that people come to because they need us, they want us, And the reason that was important for me was because at the time, the level of UX and CX maturity was a bit low, really. So people didn't really understand the value of it. So it's like, right, we're going to create this team where people understand the value. They're going to come to us, they're going to demand our time and our skills and then start to understand. And then at that point then, we can start to lead the way a little bit more. So it meant we had to, with the team, we had to think about the soft skills and we had to think about not just the craft, but also how are you going to influence stakeholders in this business who don't know a lot about UX design? How are you going to work with these stakeholders who are more focused on maybe the commercials and not so much the customer? So it was like identifying the different strengths and weaknesses within the whole team and the different skills that everybody brings and working out who's going to do what and how we can collaborate and work together and help each other. And that's worked really well because there's quite different skills and quite a diverse range of skills within the team.
Okay. Would you say that ties in quite closely with the cultural values of TalkTalk and the cultural values of your role within the team as well?
Yeah, so when it comes to the cultural values, they're really aligned to my own personal values. Like, I genuinely care. I believe my job is to help make our customers' lives better and to make my team's lives better. And I'm purpose driven. So that's why I'm here and that's why I'm doing this job. And then the values of TalkTalk are so aligned with my personal values around challenge, care and commit. And the first one being care. You know, I genuinely care about my team, about their well-being, and trying to make their day-to-day lives better where I can. And the commitment, we commit to some big projects and some targets that we have to achieve that are quite meaty and quite challenging. We go in with an open mind. We work as hard as we can. We constantly test, learn, and iterate. So yeah, I do think that the values that I have, the values of TalkTalk, are really closely aligned, which really does help. And then that sort of filters through then into the team and into our work.
So what challenges do you think you face as a female leader in the tech industry?
I think this is a really interesting question because for me, I don't see myself as a female. I just see myself as a leader in the tech sector. Mm-hmm. And I think the reason I see that is because I have always been able to just be my authentic self. I've never had to try and act any differently. And I personally see everyone as equals. So I've never been in a position where I think, oh gosh, this is like a boys' club and I'm being excluded or I'm being treated differently based on my gender. As I say, I'm very purpose-led, so I understand what I'm here to do. And then I am a natural collaborator, so I just collaborate with all the right people to achieve it. So it's a bit hard for me because, as I say, I'm in a great environment. TalkTalk's brilliant. You know, it's very inclusive. I've got lots of different networks available to join. We do have really good kind of mix of genders. We are listened to. We are respected. I think if you're credible and you're authentic and you kind of know your stuff, then that's what matters, really.
Yeah, I think that circles back to what you mentioned earlier with the holistic approach and the care and nurturing, I guess. So having like an overview rather than putting people into groups of females in leadership and just making sure everybody just feels equal and not giving too much strength to one subject, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm a certified Scrum Master, and when we started that training, I loved the principles of Agile and Scrum. And one of the things that really kind of resonated with me was we leave hierarchy at the door and we're all equal. And I bring that into everything that we do now to a point where I get a little bit frustrated sometimes if we're working with individuals who are maybe like in a dev squad, they might be offshore and they don't feel like we're all on the same level. They don't feel like they're empowered to speak or have an opinion. And it kind of upsets me a bit because my view is everybody's equal. Your view is just as important as mine, as anyone else. So I've got to a point now where I just think that whole leave your hierarchy at the door, let's just all work together to solve these problems, to achieve the customer outcomes.
Are there any tips or any advice you can offer in regards to insights into supporting diversity and inclusivity in a team?
Yeah, so what I would say is we really welcome different views and different ideas. We do that through feedback, we do that through peer reviews. So for me, no idea is a bad idea, and we just all contribute, and we've created that safe space. So there's that environment to be yourself and to contribute. So that's a really important thing, I think. The other one is getting to know about different cultures and getting to know people better and their lives and their situation. I think that's always useful. We work really hard to onboard people into our team and to help them to feel like they belong. And then, as I say, at TalkTalk, we have lots of different networks, which helps to form different groups, and We support people when it comes to neurodiversity. We make adjustments that are needed. So there's lots of opportunities. I would say, don't be shy in saying if you need adjustments to be made, or if you feel uncomfortable about something, you just speak up. And it's amazing the support of the wider team. You'd be surprised. So I just encourage our team, especially if they're struggling with anything, just speak up and we'll help.
Great. I think it comes back again to that nurture thing that you mentioned earlier, where it's just making that safe space, making people feel that they can speak up if they're feeling uncomfortable, and that just draws out the best in people and gets them to be more involved and get the best out of them as well. Thank you for joining us today, Sarah, and it's been really interesting to hear the insights to TalkTalk. Thank you for having us.
Thanks very much for inviting me. It's great. Thank you.
Thank you.